Ever feel like you're kind of stuck on the sidelines watching the world change around you?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, what if you could be the one calling the shots?
Yeah.
The one actually shaping the rules of the game?
Right, like you're making the changes.
That's the allure of becoming a policy officer, right?
Yeah, and it's not always just government work, which is what a lot of people think.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, we're talking healthcare, education, even environmental protection. Like your expertise could be applied to so many things. It could like reverberate across sectors.
Exactly. And that's where we're diving deep today.
Let's do it.
So we've got RoleCatcher's career guide, policy officer, prepped and ready to go. Plus, we'll get into how their platform can, like, be your secret weapon in actually landing a role in this field, because it's competitive out there.
Yeah.
AI interview practice, anyone.
Oh, yeah. It's about equipping you with the knowledge and, let's face it, the strategic edge to decide if this is the path for you.
Okay, so let's unpack this. RoleCatcher paints a picture of a policy officer that's, like, way more dynamic than some folks might realize. Forget the stereotype of just pushing papers in a stuffy office.
Right.
It's so much more than that.
Yeah, they're more like architects of change, right?
Yeah, interesting.
They take raw data and they turn it into real-world action.
Okay.
For instance, they might use a cost-benefit analysis to show the long-term economic benefits of investing in, let's say, renewable energy.
Right, yeah.
Or they might use impact assessments to see how a new policy could affect vulnerable communities.
That's a great point. It's about understanding the why behind the what. And the guide really emphasizes, like, research, analysis, stakeholder collaboration. These aren't just buzzwords. These are, like, the tools of the trade.
Yeah, and importantly, they use those tools to influence decision makers.
Right.
At all levels.
Wow.
All while championing the public interest, right? So they're kind of like a voice for the people.
And that's a really important distinction, I think, because I think a lot of people, when they think of policy, they think about, politicians who maybe haven't always got the best interests of the people at heart.
Yeah.
It's good to know that there are people whose job it is to advocate
Exactly.
for the needs of the public. And speaking of the public, here's where it gets really interesting. The guide mentions that policy officers' reports often go to both government and the public. What's the reasoning there?
Transparency. It keeps everyone accountable. It says, hey, this is what we're doing, and this is why it matters to you, you know?
Yeah.
The public needs to be informed about the decisions that directly affect their lives, right?
I'm hearing you. You want to make a difference, right? You want to drive real change.
Yeah.
This career definitely has that potential, but let's get real for a moment.
Absolutely. Let's be realistic, right?
Yeah.
The RoleCatcher Guide doesn't shy away from the challenges.
No, not one bit.
No.
They, call it like it is. They're talking long hours,
Yeah.
intense pressure. Like, imagine you're wrestling with policies that could impact thousands, even millions of lives.
It's a lot of responsibility.
That's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
That could weigh heavily.
It takes a certain kind of person to thrive in that environment, someone who can handle those high-stakes decisions and just come back swinging for the next challenge.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's relentless. And then they also mentioned the constantly shifting landscape of public needs. What's a hot button issue today might be yesterday's news tomorrow. So how do policy officers kind of stay ahead of the curve?
It's a constant learning process,
Yeah.
You're staying updated on emerging trends. Maybe you're attending conferences, networking with other professionals. You have to be adaptable and always willing to expand your knowledge base.
Right, so you never stop learning.
Exactly.
You're always back in school.
You gotta stay sharp.
So despite the demands, the RoleCatcher Guide makes it clear the rewards, though, can be huge.
Immense. You could be shaping policies that improve public health, bridge the education gap, or protect our planet for future generations. It's about creating a legacy that matters,
Speaking of legacies, the guide lays out a pretty clear career trajectory for aspiring policy officers.
Yeah, it outlines 4 distinct stages, from entry level to senior roles. And what's really interesting is how your focus kind of shifts over time. So you start with the research and analysis, mastering those core skills.
Right, get the foundation.
Yeah, but as you gain experience, you transition more into leading initiatives, maybe providing expert advice, even mentoring junior officers.
So it's you're not just climbing the ladder, you're expanding your skill set and influence as you go. It's that growth potential that really appeals to the learner in me. But let's be honest, it takes more than just a fancy degree to like make it in this field.
Oh, absolutely not. It's not just about what you know, but how you use it, you know?
Totally, totally.
RoleCatcher emphasizes that blend of hard and soft skills. Like you got to have those analytical chops
Yeah.
paired with top-notch communication. You can be like a whiz with data analysis, but if you can't communicate your findings in a clear and compelling way,
Nobody's going to listen to you.
it's like you're speaking a different language.
It's about connecting the dots for people, showing them why this data, this policy matters to their lives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And don't underestimate the power of like strong problem solving and critical thinking skills too.
Sure.
Policy work is all about navigating like complex challenges, anticipating roadblocks, finding creative solutions. You've got to be adaptable, you know?
Yeah.
Think several steps ahead.
It's like you're playing chess, but with real-world consequences.
Exactly.
High-stakes chess. Speaking of which, let's talk about how RoleCatcher can be like your secret weapon in this whole process. Because let's face it, the job market is a jungle out there,
Tell me about it. It's tough out there.
especially with these automated systems,
The bots.
screening applications.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can feel like you're just shouting into a void, like,
Like, is anyone even there?
right, is this thing even plugged in? But that's where RoleCatcher steps in. They help you cut through the noise. It's like they figured out the whole system. They actually help you get your resume seen by, actual humans, not just algorithms.
Right. Not just getting lost in the digital void.
Yeah.
Their platform analyzes your CV. Like it actually scores it against, real job descriptions out there. And it
Incredible.
even points out those kind of sneaky skill gaps you might have missed. Like, hey, did you know that this is actually important for this kind of role?
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah. So it's like having like a backstage pass
Oh, yeah.
to understanding what employers are actually looking for.
That's incredible. It's like having a personal recruiter in your back pocket, kind of.
Yeah.
But okay, so let's say you make it past the bots, right?
Yeah.
There's still like the dreaded interview process. RoleCatcher has a solution for that too, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Their AI-powered interview prep tool is like next level.
Okay.
Imagine getting instant feedback right on your interview performance.
Wow.
Like, hey, you did this well, but maybe work on this.
It's like having a coach.
Yeah. And then you're getting tailored advice on how to answer those really tricky, like, curveball questions.
Right. Those ones that always get you.
And then it even gives pointers on your delivery, like, hey, maybe you're speaking a little too fast, stuff like that.
Oh, wow. I need that. They even have a library of over 120,000 practice questions. That's like more than I've ever asked in my life.
Yeah.
But honestly, what really blew my mind was this whole reverse matching system. Talk about a game changer.
It's kind of genius, right?
Yeah.
It flips the scripts entirely.
Okay.
So instead of you, like, endlessly chasing after jobs, imagine, like, the jobs are coming to you.
Right.
Employers are seeking you out based on, like, your unique skills and experience that you have.
They've created a dating app, but for like ambitious professionals and like top companies. No more waiting for someone to like swipe right, you know. They're like bringing the opportunity straight to you. Well, we've covered so much ground today, from the like real nitty-gritty of policy analysis to like the power of actually using AI in your job search. What are some key takeaways you think for our listeners out there who are like ready to make their mark on the world?
For me, it's remembering that, this whole policy work, it isn't just confined to, like, those stuffy government offices, right?
No, totally no.
It's about shaping the world that we actually want to live in, right? And that's across every sector, from making sure everyone has access to, like, quality healthcare to, tackling climate change head on.
Absolutely. And making sure that future generations have a planet to live on. It's about driving change, like actually making a difference on these issues that matter. And the RoleCatcher Guide highlights some really like exciting trends in the field too, like the growing focus on like sustainability and social justice.
Right. Like those are hot topics and people are really trying to figure out, how to create change there.
Totally. So it's a really exciting time to be involved in this field.
Yeah.
So consider that your call to action, listeners. Whether you're just starting out or, you're looking to level up in your career, RoleCatcher clearly has the tools and resources to like help you every step of the way. Until next time, keep asking those tough questions
Definitely stay curious.
and diving deep.